My name is Mrs. Austin, and I'm going to be introducing a few of the books from the Booklegger program that I hope you will enjoy for the next month, that they'll be in your classroom. The first book that I'm going to introduce is My Name is Maria Isabel. Her full name is Maria Isabel Salazar Lopez. And every single name, each one of those four names, has meaning for her as far as someone from her family. Maria, she's named for her father's mother, and Isabel is from her mother's mother, so her two grandmothers are part of her name, Maria Isabel. And she has fond memories and wonderful experiences with her grandmas. And the Salazar Lopez, the same thing. They are, Salazar was one of her grandfathers, who actually she never knew because he died before she was born, but the family has so many stories. And this book talks about how important her name is to her because it's part of her identity. She moves to a new school, and the teacher tells her, when she comes in with her slip of paper, the teacher tells Maria, oh, we already have two Marias in this class. Why don't we just call you Mary? And Maria Isabel struggles with that because every time the teacher calls on her, Mary, she's not used to that name. So all through that year, she makes friends, but she still struggles with what her teacher is calling her, and her wanting to tell the teacher, no, my name is Maria Isabel. So with her struggles and all the different activities in school that she has, read this book and find out, what is she able to work out with her teacher? Does her teacher ever learn that Maria Isabel does not want to be called Mary? So anyway, this book. It's a chapter book. It is written by Alma Flor Ada. So please enjoy this book. The next book I am going to introduce to you, again, is about a name. Now, how many of you have nicknames? Where did your nicknames come from? My first name is Louise, but my nickname is Wheezy because I couldn't pronounce the L in my name when I was little. And a lot of people that are named Louise, they have the same experience. Their nickname is Wheezy. There are some people that I've met whose name is Rebecca, but their name is Becky or Becca because it's a shortened form. Sometimes you can have a nickname that isn't even part of your name. How many of you have nicknames that your family has given you that aren't even part of your name? This book is written by a former basketball star, Bob Lanier, and he wrote this book because he experienced this. He experienced growing up that sometimes people would call him by a nickname that he didn't like. So this is actually a series book. This book is part of the series called Hey Little D. This particular book is called It's All in a Name. This young boy, his name is Little D because his dad is known as Big D, and he is a basketball player. And his father was a big star in the high school basketball league. And Little D wants to be just like his dad. The thing about Little D is that he has really big feet. He just hasn't grown into his feet yet. And that can happen. Sometimes as we're growing up, sometimes parts of our body grow faster than other parts. And we're awkward and kind of clumsy sometimes. Well, Little D's feet are really big because he hasn't grown into them yet. Well, the problem is that some of some of the kids in school have given him a different name. He likes the name Little D, but they've given him the nickname Feets. He doesn't like that nickname, Feets. So, has anyone ever given you a nickname that you didn't like? Or that you just didn't feel comfortable with it? Maybe someone whose name is Rebecca, but they want to go by Rebecca, and somebody calls them Becky. What would you do if somebody calls you by a nickname that you don't like? What do you think Little D does? He and his friends come up with a plan. What plan do you think he might come up with to get these other kids to stop calling him Feets? So read this book and find out what the plan is that they come up with. The next book I'm going to introduce to you, this is again part of a series, the Bradford Street Buddies. And this one is called The Backyard Campout. How many of you have gone camping? Did you have a good time? Did you have some parts of it that weren't so fun? I know I don't like the mosquitoes when I go camping. And sometimes when we're out in the woods camping at night, there are some strange sounds that I don't hear in my bedroom when I'm sleeping. How many of you have experienced that? Was it scary? Well, the Bradford Street kids, they haven't been camping either. They find, let me see if I can find it. What they find is, they're helping their parents clean out the garage. They find a bag that has a tent, poles and the canvas. And they ask their folks, what in the world is this? And their folks tell them, oh, that's our old camping gear. Before you were born, we used to go camping. Your dad and I, we went camping and had such a wonderful time. It was great, great memories. Well, these two kids, their brother and sister, Jada and Jamal, they're just fascinated with the idea of camping, and they ask, can we go camping in our backyard? So at least that's kind of a safe place to go. You hear some of the same sounds as when you're in your bedroom. And if you have to go to the bathroom, you don't have to walk down to an outhouse. You can just go inside and go to the bathroom. So they thought that'd be really cool. And the parents said, oh, sure. Well, then the next thing, the kids asked, well, can we invite a couple friends? Well, of course. So they each invite one of their friends to come over, and the parents of those kids say, yes, that's fine. Well, in the meantime, as they're getting ready for camping, there's a lady that's putting up signs all over town or all over their neighborhood about a lost cat. She's putting up signs. Let me see if I can find that sign. Lost cat. So she's desperately looking for her cat. So the kids decide, as part of their camp out, maybe we can help this lady, this neighbor of ours, find her cat. So find out, how was their camping trip? Did they make s'mores? When you went camping, did you make s'mores? Did you roast hot dogs over the open campfire? Find out how they have their camp out in the backyard, and were they ever able to help this lady find her cat? So anyway, read this book to find out. The next book I'm going to introduce to you is a book of poems. Now these are poems all about school, what life is like in school. And I'll just read you a couple of them. So some of these might not fit your school, but most of it. This one, this particular poem, it's called A School Days Rap. I woke up at 8. Oh no, I overslept. I ran for the bus, but the bus had left. I raced to school. I really buzzed. But then I forgot where my classroom was. Finally found it, opened the door. My teacher turned into a dinosaur. The dinosaur roared, sit down at your desk. Pick up your pencil, because we're having a test. Oh all the kids were staring, sitting in their rows. I looked down and saw I'd forgotten my clothes. The dinosaur frowned and started to shake me. Turned into my mom, who was trying to wake me. Hey, sleepyhead, Tommy's here to play. Why aren't you up? It's Saturday. And then there's another bad case of the giggles. Hang on a second. Recess. All right. Now, I know some schools in the younger grades, they have 2 recesses, but lots of schools in the older grades, you only get 1 recess. So here's one reason, perhaps why. This is called recess. Susie banged her elbow. Samantha skinned her knee. Jamie tore her sweatshirt. Inez fell from a tree. Harry got a bee sting, and Aaron ran away. Now you know why schools have just 1 recess a day. Is it recess like that at your school? Do you keep things so busy that the teachers are running all over the playground keeping track? Do people get hurt? Have sometimes some of you gotten hurt on the playground? What was that like? The last one, I'm not going to read it to you, but I'm going to tell you that it's in this book. Okay, teachers, plug your ears, teachers. The title for this one is How to Torture Your Teacher. So keep in mind, none of this is really bad, but it is funny. So there's a lot more of poems about what life is like in school. And you can learn from some of these poems. You can make some of your own. So read this book and see what ideas you can come up with to make your own poems. The next book I'm going to introduce to you is Hello Ocean, Hola Mar. This is a beautifully illustrated book about life at the ocean. How many of you have been to the ocean? What was it like? What things did you do when you went to the ocean? There's a lot of things you can do with the beach, the sand, and then the ocean waves. What things did you find on the beach when you went to the ocean? Well, this book has beautiful, beautiful pictures. I love how it's illustrated. And it's written in English and Spanish. So read this book and see if you did some of these same things when you went to the beach. And it doesn't even have to be at the ocean. If you went to a beach on a lake, sometimes you can do some of the same things. You don't have all the waves, maybe. But yeah, read this book, enjoy the pictures, and think about all the things that you would like to do the next time you are able to go to the ocean. The last book I'm going to introduce is a book called Ancient Worlds. This is like a dictionary. Well, not a dictionary. It's like an encyclopedia. It has pictures of all these ancient places and all the things that archaeologists, those are people that dig up ancient places and find out how did people live in the ancient world? What things did they leave behind for us to discover? What kind of clues did they leave behind to tell us how they lived, what they did? And there are some fantastic pictures of real life discoveries. They take you to Egypt, ancient Greece, ancient China. So you can go around the world. I think they even, there's ancient civilizations in South America and Central America, as well as Asia and Africa and Europe, Greece, Rome, Egypt. So there's lots of fun information about here. So this is just like an encyclopedia. Enjoy reading all the little tidbits of information. So I hope you enjoy these books, and it's for the next month. So bye.